Okay, I have a handful of questions for you. I thought I'd start.
One at a time.
Let's ask one at a time. I thought I'd start here. So first and foremost, you told us that obviously over the course of 45 minutes that diversity is not a strength of America, anybody in America or any country in the world. Here's my question. When I look at immigration into America from any country on the face of this planet to ours, I see that it brings great prosperity, not just to our economy, but to the average qualities of lives of everybody in our country. Migrants over the course of the next 10 years are projected to add $1.7 trillion to the American GDP. Undocumented migrants today pay $100 billion per tax in year. So if you want to tell me that you think getting rid of racial diversity is placing America first, it's coming at an expense of $1.7 trillion over the course of the next 10 years, and that's just through an economic sense. How do you consolidate the fact that you think America would be better if only white people were within it with the facts that I just shared to you about the economic advantage of racial diversity in our country?
Because economics. Man does not live by bread alone. Do you think money is all that matters?
Not at all.
By no
That's why multiple
means.
questions.
Money is by no means. What I would tell you is this. I listed many of the dangers, many of the conflicts that are inevitable when you have racial diversity. And you're telling me with a little bit more GDP, all that can be made not to matter. Now, what I would suggest to you is, wait, come on, let me talk. All you're saying is the GDP would grow. How would the GDP handle without them? It might grow just as fine. Again, these are not merely economic questions. These are questions of cultural and racial survival. Next question, please.
Well, I think before I pass the mic, of course, you don't want to hear from me more. And I think that's,
You can ask another question later.
well, I think it,
One at a time. Let someone else ask a question. We might get back to you.
I'd like to personally ask why you think it's important to.
Yeah, I think you in front. It's time for your next question.
Wonderful.
Give us a question.
I allow you. That's there it is. I appreciate you for allowing me to ask more than one question.
Of course.
So, first of all, I'd like to point out the fact that at multiple points throughout your speech, you pointed out that it's not getting better. This problem of racial diversity will persist forever and we just can't get along. And these liberal movements to usher in racial diversity are failing. And I think it's funny to point out the fact that you called the oppositional movement we see outside of this building with 500 people something that you've seen for your first time. I think what that demonstrates is that we are changing and the only people holding us back are individuals like you.
So you're saying that the people who answer those polls, they're all wrong? When the black people tell a pollster they think that racial problems will never be solved, are they wrong? Why is it that after 200 years, 400 years, we still have the problem? The whole idea of the civil rights movement was that everybody was to be dismantling their sense of racial consciousness. We were all going to be Americans, hold hands, say kumbaya, and that would be it. That is clearly not the place. And those 500 people out there, you've counted the 500, I hope they're on. Why are they there? They are there because they are so disturbed that someone might take a different point of view that they don't know. Why are they not here? They don't even have to come to know that they disagree with me because they have paid no attention to me. Yes, behind you.
Well, I just thought I'd add on. I just thought I'd add on there real quick. You asked me, why are these issues still persisting after 500 years? How long did people think the earth was flat? How long did we leave child marriage legal? Sometimes it does take time to overcome issues.
Sit down. You're going to be respectful, or you're going to leave?
Of course, I will be the respectful one. Of course, we
You're
have
going to sit down and you're going to be quiet. That's your last point.
All right, just that.
Sir, I think we have, thank you very much. I think we have time for one more question.
I have a great question. Oh, darn it, because I can tell you what you mean.
Be essentially obliterated.
I have a last question.
I believe.
Why not isolate on eye color, hair color? Why don't you try this on the color of your skin?
Sure, because that's the basis on which prison gangs attack each other. Why not isolate on the basis of prison? No.
Tell me why undocumented migrants are 2 times less likely to commit violent crimes than you.
That is not true. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
PNAS did research.
Wait.
They've been tracking that since the 18th century.
Can I ask one more question?
Oh, sorry.
Are they, so,
Can I, it's a real quick question. Just real, it'll be quick, I promise.
Why did you dedicate You're highly educated, you've traveled, you've seen things.
So why do I care?
spend your life?
Why do I care?
Why race?
Because I care about the survival of my people. The white race, European people, are my extended family.
Thank you.
And I'm very sorry if that offends you.
Oh, no.
Family is what matters most. My idea about race, Billy, is the way I feel about my own children. I love my children more than I love anyone else's children. Not because they're necessarily better, but because they're mine. I can be very fond of other people's children, but mine come first. And the white race, which I believe has achieved great things, is my biological family. And this does not mean I have to be hostile in the slightest to other families, but I want my family to survive and prosper forever. That's the answer to your question.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to thank Mr. Taylor for coming and thank you all for your comments.